This is my second video looking at building a collection of live recordings from 1969 to 1977. In '69, Elvis returned to live performance in Las Vegas, and he had to prove to the American public that he still had it, and needed to prove to himself that he could still do it. That's two different it's there. Then in 1970, he had to prove to the whole world via MGM's cameras that he could still do it, and he still had it. And then from 71 to 72, it was kind of rinse and repeat, I suppose, in that 71, he was performing concerts, again in Vegas and again on tour. And then in 72, he was back in front of the cameras for the Elvis on Tour documentary. Then, however, and this is where we pick up the story, in 1973, Elvis had perhaps his biggest artistic challenge of all time. He not only had to prove to the world, once again, that he still had it and could still do it, but he had to do it in real time, via satellite. Aloha from Hawaii via satellite, and that's what we're going to be looking at. First of all, my Aloha releases. Two concerts, January the 12th, the rehearsal concert, and then the main event on January the 14th. So I think of all the concerts, this is the one for which I've got the most releases. I'm not quite sure how I've managed to end up with so many releases, but here we go. This is what I have. This is the first Japanese CD from the late 80s, featuring just the concert, the main concert on the 14th. And I've also got this Japanese Legacy edition from 2013, which has the main concert and the Aloha rehearsal show. And I've also got the rehearsal show on the original CD. Again, this is the Japanese version from the late 80s. I also have the FTD version from 2022. This was remixed by Matt Ross Spang. There are videos out there looking at this set in detail. This is a 3-disc set, so the third disc contains all takes of the post-show songs that Elvis recorded straight after the live concert. And then in 2023, Sony Legacy released the whole thing again, the same 3 discs, in this set here. This one is also mixed by Matt Ross Spang, so I'm guessing it's exactly the same CD, same recording, or same mix. It also came with this DVD here. I've got the original DVD as well somewhere. I couldn't find it before I started filming. It's that one in the white box, that fold-out white box. I've got it around here somewhere. Now, last time I didn't show any of the LPs that I had. As far as I recall, I didn't show any. So I'll show you what LPs I've got here very briefly. There's an original Japanese copy. I did a video on this specific copy because it was actually sold the day after Elvis died, because it's still got the receipt in there. What else we got here? This one is Japanese quad copy. Down here, quadradisc. This sold far less than the standard stereo version, so it's a little bit more difficult to find. I've got this American one with the quadradisc sticker there, and I've also got this 4LP music on vinyl set, which also contains the alternate Aloha. So that was Elvis's start to 1973. Pretty good start to the year. Tons of stuff out there. Every Elvis fan should have at least one copy of the Aloha show in their collection. Less than 2 weeks after the Aloha concert, Elvis was back in Vegas for the 8th time. There are a few shows available officially. The ones that I have are all on this 4 CD set here, On Stage, February 1973. It's got 3 shows from the 2nd and 3rd of February. The last one there, the February 3rd Midnight Show, that corresponds to an FTD release called I'll Remember You. It also has some rehearsal tracks as well. FTD also released another set, 3 CD set called From Vegas to Tahoe. It has 2 shows from this Vegas engagement, and then the 3rd CD comes from a Lake Tahoe engagement from beginning in May. However, between the Vegas engagement and the Tahoe engagement, Elvis had a short tour from April the 22nd to April the 30th. Nothing official has been released from that short tour, but there are quite a few audience recordings out there. So back to the Tahoe engagement then. This was Elvis's 2nd engagement in Tahoe, the first time since '71, running from May the 4th to the 20th. I've got a couple of releases here. Here's another MRS one. This is Elvis at 3 a.m. It's got 12th of May Midnight Show, and then the one he did just a couple of hours later, the 3 a.m. show. You can also get the 3 a.m. show on this FTD release here, Taking Tahoe Tonight. Following the Tahoe engagement, 1 month later, in fact, Elvis was back on the road from June the 20th to July the 3rd. Now, nothing has been released officially from that tour, but there are a number of audience recordings out there that you can get hold of if you really want to hear something from that particular tour. Then, from August the 6th to September the 3rd, Elvis was back in Vegas for the 9th time, another 4-week engagement. I've got a couple of releases from that particular engagement. This is the first one. It's an unofficial release, a profile, The King on Stage. This one is August the 20th, 1973, a midnight show. It's a sound booth recording, so that's when they just put 2 mics on stage. And sound booth recordings have a different atmosphere to soundboard recordings. This comes from a box set. There is the box set. I'll just show you it briefly. If you want to know more about this set and the other one in the series, Volume 2, just go over to MJL3764's channel. He reviewed both of those box sets. This particular concert, I believe, was also released on an FTD set called Las Vegas Hilton 1973, along with another show from the same engagement. I've just got one more from that engagement. It's Closing Night 1973 on the MRS label. This is one of the most notorious concerts Elvis did in the 70s. And if you haven't heard it, it's definitely worth hearing. It really is a real concert of up and downs. Lots happening in this show. It's February the 3rd, closing show, and it's also got a few tracks from the dinner show of the same day. You can also get a title on FTD, a CD on FTD with almost the same title, Closing Night, and it's got the same music on there as well. So that was 1973. It started with Aloha and ended with this. But over 160 concerts later, Elvis certainly deserved a long break, and he got that all right. He didn't perform again until the end of January 1974, nearly 5 months later. Right, so 1974 then, Aloha is now a distant memory. He was very busy this year, and it's a real up and down year in terms of the quality of the concerts. 155 shows he performed that year, 86 of which were in Vegas or Tahoe. I mention that because although I think Elvis preferred to be on the road, at least when he was in Vegas, he wasn't hopping on and off the Lisa Marie every 24 hours. So let's go to the first concerts of the year, which were actually in Vegas, his 10th season in Vegas from January the 26th to the February the 9th. I've just got one show from that season, and that is this one here, I Found My Thrill. And this is a good time to point out one of the problems that, well, 2 problems that you can get with FTD CDs. This one is supposedly slightly too fast. Now, I've only just got it today, so it's supposed to be about 1.5% too fast. That's probably not enough for people to really hear. But any more than that, too fast or too slow, I think people with sensitive ears can probably hear it. Another problem that you can get with FTD CDs is disc rot. So if you look there, just at the top of the CD where I'm holding it, it's a little bit sort of foggy, isn't it? And in some parts, you can see some sort of like lines on there, frosty lines almost. So I've literally just got this today, so I don't know if that's going to play. Something to keep in mind then when buying FTDs. There are lists out there, if you look on the forums, and people have compiled lists of CDs that run slightly too fast or slightly too slow, or in some cases much too fast or too slow. And yeah, I'll be checking out, I'll be verifying some of those myself in the coming months. What else do you get? Let Me Be There, that's another FTD release, and now that one definitely does run too slow. One CD, I was listening to that online, and I could hear, even without testing it, that particular disc, I forget which disc it was definitely running too slow. So you've got to keep that in mind with the FTDs. Do your research, definitely. There is a weird song on this album. It's called I Found My Thrill Medley, and it's basically chunks of the two songs, Blueberry Hill and I Can't Stop Loving You, taken from this tour, with another couple of bits in there as well, I think, as I recall. Maybe there's a bit of When My Blue Moon Turns to Gold Again in there, and one other song, but it's basically a medley of those two songs. So let's move on to the next concerts, which were a tour, March the 1st to the 20th. These were all southern states. A lot of material has come out from this one, and I've got 3 of them. The first one is an FTD one, 48 Hours to Memphis. That's a particularly good one. I've also got the MRS recent release, the Houston Astrodome concert. And then, of course, I also have the recorded live on stage in Memphis. I've got numerous LPs and CD versions of that, but this is the FTD version. I'm still on the lookout for the Legacy when it comes along at a decent price, because some people have, well, quite a few people have recommended that. There are numerous other titles out there from that particular tour. You've got Sold Out, Murfreesboro 74, and Hometown Shows. Those are all FTD. Then we move on to the next tour, which was May the 10th to the 13th. That's very short. Short tour of California. And again, I've got this MRS set here on tour, 1974 California. What's that got? 3 CDs on there. You can also get those shows on FTD, 2 CDs called Elvis in California and also Live in LA. Straight after that California tour, Elvis was in Lake Tahoe, May the 16th to May the 27th for that particular engagement. And there are quite a few good quality concerts out there from that particular season. All I have is just this one here. Again, from the Profile box set. This is from Volume 2, Disc 1, May the 27th, 3 a.m. closing show. What else can you get from that particular season? You've got State Line Sahara, High Sierra, and Lake Tahoe 74. Those are all FTD releases. And then we're back on tour again, June the 15th to July the 2nd. Many shows available from this particular tour as well. I've got a couple of them here. One is in this book, Rocking Across Texas. The first show there, Amarillo, is from this particular tour. And then I've also got this CD again from a Profile. The King on Stage. This is box number 1, disc 2, from Kansas City, the June 29th evening show. There's quite a few FTD releases available from that tour. You've got Houston, Fort Worth, Baton Rouge, 1974. That's quite a title. Fort Worth, Texas, 1974. Sold Out, Omaha, Nebraska. And there's also a CD with the book Fashion for a King from this particular tour. Then we're back to Vegas, a very interesting show from this particular Vegas season, his 11th, August the 19th to September the 2nd. As many fans will know, Elvis decided to completely revamp his set list on the first show, which you can hear here on this excellent release here, Nevada Nights. It's actually got two shows on here. Apparently Elvis wasn't too thrilled with the reaction from the audience when he changed things around, so he went back to the old set list. You've got the opening show from the 19th and then another show from the 21st. Another FTD show, FTD CD, related to that particular season is this one here, From Sunset to Las Vegas. It's mainly rehearsals just before the season began, but you do get a bunch of songs from that same season. Most of the songs on CD 2 are from that particular season, including two songs from September the 9th, perhaps Elvis's most notorious concert, sometimes referred to as Desert Storm. He does have two songs from that show, but they're both performed by voice, Bringing It Back and Aubrey. What else is available from that particular season? Of course, the bootleg Desert Storm will be an essential one from that. That's the one that I'm trying to get hold of. You've also got Las Vegas 74, It's Midnight, and August Season in Vegas, all on FTD. And then we're back on tour, September the 27th to October the 9th. Elvis was touring at the Midwest. And I've got a couple of CDs from that tour. Once again, from this box set here, The King on Stage Volume 2. This is, this is often mentioned as being Elvis's worst performance of all time. College Park, Maryland, September the 28th, 1974. This is disc 1, and it continues on disc 2, the end of the show, and you've also got a show from Dayton, Ohio, I think. October the 6th, matinee show. You also have Dragonheart, which I've recently ordered, just waiting for that to come, and another FTD CD called St. Paul to Wichita. And to end in 1974, Elvis had a very short stay at Lake Tahoe, just 4 days, from October the 11th to the 14th. Nothing has been officially released from that engagement, although there are audience recordings out there. So that's the end of this particular year, 74. I'm going to leave it there before going on to 1975. But as ever, any comments or questions, please drop them in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.